Hello everyone, and welcome back to Super Robot Wars X. It is part 16. We are on scenario 12, and I've got a guest with me. Guest, say hello. Guest, say hello.
Yo, it's Giggysan.
Hey, it's Giggysan. We're going through Discord here. There might be some cutouts, but you know, we'll get through it.
Technology.
Yeah, technology, man. It's fun.
Not as cool as these mecha.
Certainly not. Certainly not. Anyway, let's jump in here. You are, let's say, not a Super Robot Wars veteran.
No. Curious. Super Robot Wars curious.
Yes, but you are a fan of anime and mech anime specifically. So,
that is true as well.
I thought it'd be fun to bring you on, and we can talk a little bit about some anime, some robots, and I can show you this game. We can go through. Well, let's not go through the mechs. Let's just kind of get into the story. This game's long enough without us jumping into.
Well, we'll see the mechs as the game progresses.
Exactly.
See all those good money shots.
So we are on a planet called Allworth right now. That is kind of I don't know if it's a made-up planet for this game or if it's the planet that Wataru comes from, who's kind of the semi-protagonist, or at least like the featured anime for this game.
Mm-hmm.
But also I've never watched his show, so I can't really say for sure.
Yeah, neither have I. So it could be real. It could just be made up for this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really important. I mean, the X in Super Robot Wars X stands for cross, like in crossover. All the other games are crossovers, so I don't know how this one's really any different. But yeah,
they couldn't just keep using X over and over again.
Right, and this is also not the 10th Super Robot Wars game, which is very confusing to people. Like the one before this was Super Robot Wars V, and it wasn't the 5th one either. So it can be. It's understandable that this can be silly.
The letter T in their titling, so it's like, you know, who gives a shit?
well, Matt.
Should we number these? Nah.
I'm gonna prop my my glasses up my nose here that I'm not wearing, and tell you that the T stands for Terra, as in Earth. Oh. Because T is more about Earth, I guess.
You mean the upper Earth?
I don't know, man.
As in Aurora Battler Dunbine?
Oh yeah, we'll learn more about Upper Earth, but no, in T, I think Dunbean is represented in T. I'd have to go back and remember, but anyway, let's
apologies
get
out
in
there
here.
for us both going Dunbean and Dunbine, like constantly.
Yeah, I'm
we'll
more of
Aurora
a bean.
Battler.
I'm more of a bean man, but I will not have a problem if somebody says Dunbine. No problem at all. Anyway, let's look at this guy. His name's Zan Cook. I think he was accused of stealing jokes at some point.
Terrible crime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's one of the 4 generals. I know nothing about him because, again, I do not watch Mashin Hero Wataru other than one episode so I could get a screenshot of Schwarzenegger, who
oh yes, our favorite character.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up in this episode, but something to know. Anyway, this is Kurama. He is our friend? Question mark. Actually, we know that he is not our friend. He is over here talking to the enemy. He's going to betray us at some point. But
turncoat.
But our characters don't know that yet, so we're just kind of, still friendly with him. We've got Beastmen here because we just met
in watching
Simone
these animes that they're all from.
Gone. Excuse me? What'd you say there, Matt?
Is this getting you interested in all these anime to like actually watch them?
Yes and no. I don't think I watched Giggysan in G, the Gundam series, until I played this game. So on one hand, and that was in 2018 when I first played this game. On one hand, it's like, yeah, this is introducing me to some anime that I don't know. But there is still something that's like, I want to play with the characters that I do know from the anime I have watched previously. So it's a bit of both. I will say I still probably don't have much interest in watching Wataru's show. One, because it's just pretty old, and old animes.
Yeah, sometimes it holds up, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
it all depends on you, the viewer.
Exactly. And I don't like the mech designs for Wataru. I've gone over this. We'll see them as we play. I'm trying to kind of get those guys out of the way as quickly as possible, so I never have to play with them again. Yeah. So Zan Cook's just giving Kurama an earful here. Kurama doesn't like being called a beast, despite being
but he's a bird.
Man. Yeah, he's a bird, he's a man, but he's not a beast man. That's a different thing.
Guy should just go to Hyrule. He'll fit right in.
Exactly. He'd be fine there. So this is Dio. He is from an anime called Buddy Complex that I've never seen. And this is Aoba, who is his buddy. Buddies are able to like share their knowledge in battle. So like they're both in mechs. Aoba has never piloted a mech before, and Dio is a seasoned mech pilot. And they can connect, and it's kind of like a Matrix. Oh, I know kung fu kind of a deal.
In Pacific Rim.
Yes, 100%. 100% drifting in Pacific Rim, except they're in two separate robots. But even though these guys are quote-unquote buddies in a technical sense, they do not seem to get along all that well outside of their mechs. They're getting better, but they're still not. You can see they're not real friends here. This is Bellry. He is from Gundam Reconquista NG, which you have not watched that show, have you, Matt?
No, I have not. The most this is sacrilegious to you, but the most Gundam I have watched is G Gundam. I've watched all of that series.
It's not. That's barely even Gundam.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It is good, but it's a whole different kind of good.
Also horribly offensive in a lot of parts, but still, it's like.
What? You got a problem with the Tequila Gundam?
No, I have a problem with the windmill Gundams for Holland.
Yeah, it's a pretty dumb Gundam.
I know, it's so stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, Reconquista NG is, I think, an incredibly good-looking show that just is absolute dumb garbage of a story. Like, it is so... There's probably a good story in there somewhere. It is just so rushed that it's so hard to follow as you're going through it. So much stuff is happening.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember if I've seen these characters. Probably has this played on Adult Swim or something like that?
I don't think so. This is a relatively new anime. This is
okay.
This is from the 2010s for sure. Probably later 2010s. Like it's in fact this is one of the featured anime for this game. So this game came out in 2018. I'm gonna guess this was like a 2017 anime.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it is new. I mean, it's very good looking. It's very stylish, but it's just a mess. I think they've gone back. They've actually made recap movies that I think are supposed to help explain the story a little better, which is weird. My
favorite anime movies, recap movies.
Yeah, well, they can be good sometimes.
You spend like $35 plus shipping on Death and Rebirth for Evangelion, and then be disappointed. Oh, this is just a recap of the entire show with a little sliver of end of Evangelion at the end to tease you.
So that is maybe that's a little bit different because that is absolutely just like a recap thing. It is meant to recap, whereas I would say even though these are called recap movies, I think it's more like this is the alternative way of watching this. Like you don't have to watch the anime.
Different adaptation
anymore.
of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is cut with the same footage as the anime itself, but There's some different footage in there. There might be some things that explain things a little bit better. I have not watched the
I can't blame him for
movies.
thinking smart reusing animation. That's how it's done.
Well, sure, and I mean Gundam has done this explicitly before. There are recap movies of original Mobile Suit Gundam that was like a what is that, like a 60th episode series. It condenses those down into 3 movies, which for that show it's bad to do that, because you miss out on a lot of stuff when you condense 60 episodes of television into 3 movies. For this, though,
it's like watching Char's Counterattack and not watching the rest of Gundam.
Yeah, who would do that? But for something like Giggysan G, I think it's 26. It might even be less than 26. And splitting that up into 3 movies might actually get you more, well, like not more time, but I think they're able to spend the right amount of time on different things that are going on. But like Gundam's done recap movies of the original Mobile Suit Gundam. They've done recap movies of Zeta Gundam, and both of those are, I would say, not the right ways to watch those things. In fact, it's definitely not the right way to watch Zeta, because I think it actually changes the story a little bit. It does have some new footage, though, that looks real good in those movies, but it's intercut with all the old footage, and it just kind of goes back and forth, and it looks weird as hell. It is a cool curio, but I would not say that it's the way to watch Zeta. And people should watch Zeta. Zeta's good. Anyway, we need to get through some of this story stuff, because
boring story
because there's a lot of it.
I try following the story in your video, and it's like, yeah, this seems like typical crossover stuff.
Totally.
Like, if I was more invested in these characters, I'd be like, oh man, I can't wait for this character to meet up with this character. Like Marvel DC mashups, like, oh man, Superboy versus Spider-Man, who's gonna win? Oh man, they combined Wolverine and Batman in the same character.
And the way this one works, right? And the way this one works, the way Super Robot Wars in general works, is that there are a number of featured anime per game, and then everything else is just kind of there, but doesn't really have story. It doesn't really matter in the story. So like these 2 characters, Cecily and Seabook, they are from Gundam F91, which was a single movie. And while they're in the game and their machines are in the game doesn't really tell their story. It's not about their story. But because Giggysan in G is one of the featured anime, we actually meet a lot more villains from Giggysan in G. There's a lot more of the retelling of that anime within this crossover story that's going on. And the same thing for Wataru and for a couple other anime. But it is very much like, here are the main ones that we're focusing on that are part of our story, and then here are just some fun characters that you can also have because we know they're popular, or because they've been in previous games before, and this is just another way of fitting more characters into the crossover. And then this guy is from Nadia Secret of Blue Water, which you know a little bit about, don't you?
I know a little bit because picking up like anime DVDs back in the day, ADV had this series, so they would play trailers in the beginning of their home releases of stuff, and it always looked cool. It's just, even back then, anime was expensive as fuck, so
yes,
you had to pick and choose. Like, am I gonna continue on with getting Evangelion and Razafon, or should I go with something else? And yeah, at some point, you're just like, I can't keep up with all this shit. But right. It does look interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was made by Hideaki Anno, who made Evangelion, who made Gunbuster, who made
His and Evangelion's
the one. Sure, Evangelion's the one you need to know. He made Shin Godzilla for God's sakes.
I know. He did a Cutie Honey movie.
It's true. He did do that.
It's a good movie. I like that movie.
Anno is a bit hit and miss, but I think his work is always very interesting. And that really makes me want to go and watch Nadia at some point. just not right now. I've got enough other shows that I'm watching at the moment.
It does look like a great whimsical kind of light adventure.
Yeah,
which gets accused of Disney accusing of like copying them with their movie Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Disney got accused, right?
Disney got accused. Yes, the anime came out before Atlantis came out in like 2000 or so.
Right.
But because the character Milo and I forget the girl's name, and the end, they both look similar, quote unquote, to the main characters, and there's. Atlantis is involved and jewels are involved and stuff like that. And it's like, but like you look at the two stories and like, nah, this ain't it, Chief.
Right, like maybe aesthetically they took a few things,
Kinda.
but
it's like Kimba the White Lion and the Lion King, and it's just like, yo, Simba never wore his dead father's pelt ever.
What if he did
movie.
though?
I mean, then they would be accused of plagiarizing Kimba the White Lion.
Well, I am not. I remember watching that Atlantis movie and thinking it was not very good.
I've watched it recently. I think it holds up.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's funny.
Maybe
it's got good
maybe I should give it
comedic
another shot.
timing.
Okay, I believe you.
But again, it's a kids movie. I mean, how far can you go with it? Now, is this Fairy from Aurora Battler?
Yes, she's Show's friend, co-pilot, whatever.
Oh, I remember this guy from Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, Viral is from Gurren Lagann. Yeah.
I just restarted watching that, so I'm gonna try to get through Gurren Lagann. Yeah. I'm on like episode 4 right now.
It's a good show.
It's animation-wise, it's great. And I love all the characters, like their personalities.
Yeah.
I think I've already had bits and pieces of it spoiled over the years, so.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And we'll try. And at this point in the story, in fact, I'm going to go off that screen. At this point in the story, this the Gurren Lagann, like the way Super Robot Wars works is, I feel like I've explained this a number of times, but here's a different way of how Super Robot Wars works, is that they will also pick from a time period of the anime. So so Simone and Viral here are actually from the second half of Gurren Lagann, not the first half. So everybody's aged up.
So where everything changes in an anime arc.
Yes. But they'll also do that for other anime, like on the Gundam, on any of the Gundams here. They'll usually use the last OP when they do the battle themes. They'll use the last opening theme song instead of the first one, which is very annoying to me because I get really, I get attached to something like Anime Janai from Gundam Double Zeta, and then they play the second OP that nobody remembers from Double Zeta when you meet Double Zeta characters. Like, oh man, it should be Anime Janai because that's the song. That's the Gundam Double Zeta song. Anyway. So this Simone is probably a little older than the Simone you are familiar with from your first 4 episodes. But,
probably.
That's him. That's our boy.
He does look a little older, I will admit, but he's still rocking that cool necklace, the drill necklace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm excited to finish up that series.
It's good, and it's not that long either. Like it's a decently sized anime, totally fine.
Standard. Well, that's 2 seasons technically, but I still see it as like 26 episodes. That's like 1 season.
Yeah. Have you watched Promare yet?
Oh yes, I've several times. Saw it in theaters not last year, 2 years ago. At this point, ooh.
Right. As did I. I thought that was a great movie, but even though like story wise it's different, it really does feel like they took Viral and Kamina out of Gurren Lagann and said, what if we just made a movie with these two? And they just changed the names.
I mean, even who's the big? I don't want to spoil or anything, but there's one guy that looks like Gamagori from Kill la Kill. So
sure,
it's
totally
a trigger ass anime.
Yeah, they had their Gainax influence, they have their Trigger influence,
One
or
character
their previous
looks like
Trigger influence. They're like, why don't we smash all these together and just make a really damn Trigger movie? And they did that, and it was very good.
I'm glad Trigger exists. Like the torch has been passed from Gynex of early days to Trigger, basically at this point.
Yeah. Are you? I know it's still. Is it still like a year off or something? There's the Cyberpunk anime that Trigger is making.
Oh yes, yeah. Hopefully that's good.
I mean,
and not a
it's
mess
got to
like
be
the
better
game.
than the game, right?
I think at this point I'm just gonna wait for the action button review of Cyberpunk 2077, and that'll be Cyberpunk for me.
Yeah, it might be for me too. I still have my PS5 copy, and if they ever finish updating it, I might go back and play it. But I'm just too gun shy at this point.
If I get a PC that can run it, I will probably buy it in like 10 years when it's like $2.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh man, this game's pretty great.
So we got a lot of people not getting along.
Of course not. They're like, you put people that are like villains in the show together in a room. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, but hey, we're under attack now, so maybe people get their shit together, and we got this Aura Battler squadron coming at us, so we got to do something about it. Will it be
Todd? I remember what they called some of the machines in Aura Battler, but it escapes me at the moment. But there's some cool mech designs in that game. A lot of bug influence.
Totally, they are all very bug-like.
Way better than Big Bag Beetleborgs. I gotta say that.
But maybe not quite as good as Metabots.
I mean, Metabots has the ref. I mean, he's so OP and amazing.
I would really like to go and rewatch Metabots if I had the time.
I think my watching of it back in the day on Kids WB was enough.
Yeah, man, Metabots ruled. That was great.
It was good.
Anyway, so we got two ships here. I think we can bring everybody. Yep, we can still bring everybody. Change our placement.
Nice.
And,
look at that stack. Wow.
Yeah, and look at this this great
flat map.
Look at just the wide open space.
This seems to be a recurring thing with the Super Robot Wars series. Is just
it is
flat maps.
It's my biggest disappointment with it. Is like I just wish they did more with this. Like these are forest tiles, and you get slightly better defense and evasion when you're on them. Everything else here, these are also forest tiles, but everything else here is just nothingness.
But no height, no depth,
this is a map.
No lakes, no canyons or rivers or nothing. It's kind of. But then again, you're in ships that can fly and stuff like that, so it's like, well, what's the point?
You're not 100% wrong. There's some water that we deal with every once in a while, and we've got some units like the Grandis here that don't fly, so they will have to go
it's
underwater.
An tank.
Yeah. Or like Shibaraku here, he can't fly either, so he would also go underwater if we dealt with that. But you just deal with water very very little in here. Anyway, let's move some people. We want to get Wataru up. We want to get Shibaraku up. Trying to use these guys as much as we can. You can see there it says score 24 for Shibaraku, and it says score 26 for Wataru. We need to get them to 50, so they can become ace pilots.
Long way to go.
Yeah, it is a long way to go, but it gets faster as we go because they just start adding more and more enemies to every map. So it shouldn't be too bad.
Does it ever get like ridiculous, like Dynasty Warriors levels of enemies on screen in this game?
I wouldn't say Dynasty Warriors level, but it certainly gets to a point of like I'm really outnumbered, but also I'm so much stronger than these guys. They'll all go down relatively quickly. Okay, let's just confirm. Let's get our guys out there and let's start doing some battling. Aurally.
Chum. Oh no.
Chum's getting a bad feeling about this. Now,
I have been peeking at getting the Saturn version, the 4th Super Robot Wars.
Yeah? Do you know which one that is?
Is it F? No, it's not F, is it?
I don't know enough about the series pre-V.
Yes, it is under the name Super Robot Wars F.
Okay.
And there's also Super Wars F Final. So there was, a pair of games. It's not really a sequel, more of like, oh, here's a few extra mechs. And looking at videos, I think I'll probably pull the trigger and buy a couple copies because they're super cheap. They're all in Japanese, of course, because they're Saturn games only released in Japan. But the maps
I was able to
still look flat as hell.
Totally, 100%. I was able to find a fan-translated version of one of the ones for Super Famicom, and so I grabbed that, and so I've got that available to me at some point. But we'll see.
Gonna dump that onto one of your ROMs and play it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the ability. I could just play some ROMs right here on the laptop. So yeah, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting the Super Famicom one, but then when I saw the Saturn and how the animation's just a little better, just a little better.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be playing this game mostly for, maybe to help learn and understand and read Japanese, but mostly to see the sick animations and play a strategy game. Like I don't think I'll give two shits about the story in the game at all.
And I will say the animations, especially in these PS4 era ones, are really good.
Yeah, they
are so fun.
If you like slashes on screen and missiles flying everywhere. Oh man, that's a lot of enemies.
That's a decent amount, yeah. Okay, so these guys are like friends.
Todd.
Yeah. These guys are like frenemies.
Yeah.
And
also horribly xenophobic.
Oh yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, totally.
Todd sucks.
I understood, like, from the first half of the episode, I was like, oh, like, yeah, this guy's the douchebag of the crew.
Yeah. Oh, totally. This guy's got 2 cats.
Of course.
They also operate little mechs that he can shoot out. We'll probably have to use that attack at some point in this, just so you can see that.
Yes, please. Everybody's got to talk before the battle starts.
Oh yeah, and I think what they're doing here, this game is also really bad at telling you about the hidden objectives, or they really do hide them.
They're secret objectives.
That's why I have that's why I have a guide up here, just to know that I don't miss anything. So our job here, we need Simone and Todd to attack each other, which nobody has said that we need to use the Gurren Lagann to do that, but we do need to do that. And then we also have a couple of things that we can get for some secret things here. We need Sho to defeat Todd, and we need at least 4 Todd points. And I don't know how many Todd points we have from previous maps that we've done, but we have a chance to get 2 Todd points in this one. We need Sho to attack Todd. Do what? Oh, the Todd points?
I'm sorry, it's just the funny Todd points.
No, you're 100% right. There are also mask points in this game, and I think there's some other people points as well when we get in there. But we need Sho to attack Todd, we need Simone to attack Todd, and we need to do some other things that I don't want to spoil quite yet, because we're going to see that here.
Yeah, get into it. What do you get for getting the secret objective?
We get Todd.
Oh, okay.
Like if we get enough Todd points, we'll get Todd.
It's a recruiting thing. Gotcha.
Yeah, but there also is another secret scenario that we can unlock if we play our cards right here.
Okay.
And everybody knows that I want to play even more of this game than I already have to. So, so we're gonna try to get the secret
It's kind of like a Fire Emblem recruit thing, but most of the time you just go up to a guy and talk to them. Like.
Yeah, I would say Fire Emblem's a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem, I think, is a little bit better about saying, hey,
the secret objectives kind
of... Or
of...
hinting, at least, that these 2 characters should talk to each other, whereas this one is very hit and miss on whether they give you an idea that something might happen between these characters.
Attaboy, show.
Okay,
it's
here we go. We just need to defeat Todd. Well done. Very well said. So we need to defeat Todd, and we can't let Show get defeated. Everything else is kind of on the table. We don't even have to defeat all these other robots. All we need to do is defeat Todd. That being said, I need to get these kills, so we're gonna clear out this entire map. So we're gonna move our dudes up. Let's get us into a position to attack. This is a very slow part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you got like I don't really think there are any. There probably are strategy games where it's like, do you want to move the characters for you? Let the AI take control? And I'm sure there are some that do that, but like, why would you?
Right, like
it always ends horribly.
You pick that one time in this entire map where I would just say, yes, move everyone forward the maximum amount they can. So I get why that's not something here, that's pointless to throw in, but also it feels pointless to just burn an entire turn running everybody up when the enemy's not going to be able to touch me, even if I do run everybody all the way up. But, you know, maybe there's some strategy to it. Some of these mechs can go further than other ones, like this tank can't go far. I think it has maybe 5, whereas some of these other guys have like 7. So there's, you know, maybe some potential strategy in there. We'll also speed up these guys as they go. So these helicopter dudes are not from Dunbean. They're from a different anime. I think they're actually from Wataru. But, you know, they're just kind of support
I see some bug sort of aura battlers.
Yes.
Mixed with them.
So we got these guys.
Look how cool that is.
These drumlos. Did you meet the drumlos in your watching of
I don't
of aura battler?
That looks like the one that one of the characters like immediately goes into.
Okay. And then here's a closer look at Todd's Vieras. I don't know if you've seen that one yet, but
no, that's cool.
Very spiky, very mean. And then this one, you know, this is the Dunbean.
There we go. Yep.
Purple dude. Yep. Anyway, so let's get some kills. These guys are pretty easy, so we should be able to take them out, no problem. 100%, that looks good. 36% coming back. Not too worried about it. Even if we get hit, I don't think he's going to do too much. So Wataru's mech is actually a dragon, but also Wataru, there's no cockpit in this mech. Kinda. There's no cockpit in this mech though. Like Wataru is riding a dragon in like in another dimension that lives inside this mech. It looks. It's
so they have a psychic link between dimensions.
Maybe. I think it's more a case like this anime is very old and they didn't have the budget/time to make a full cockpit. So what if we just put him in a spacey background instead that doesn't have to change at all?
That makes sense.
So we didn't secure the kill there. That's
but you didn't take any damage either, though.
That's true. We'll definitely secure the kill with Shibaraku, and that also helps us. We need him to get those kills. But I just, like, do you like these mech designs? I don't really like the way these guys are so squat.
Yeah, they're okay. Like, it's kind of like, what if we made chibi mechs?
Yeah.
And I get that's an acquired taste.
And that is what Super Robot Wars kind of is. Like, all of these mechs are basically chibi-ized. Like, this is... Those are generally the proportions of the G-Self, but not exactly.
I think like it helps like the heads are a little bigger. It just like makes them a little more distinguished between like on the battlefield and in the portraits.
But like watching one episode of this anime, this is basically what these guys look like in the anime.
Interesting.
And I just don't think it looks very good. Anyway, let's get some other people moving up. Doing some other stuff here.
Now I know
this is the F-91.
Spaceships in the background. And I know that the Spike Spiegel has his swordfish in one of the Super Robot War games. But are there anything like Star Battlers or Battleship Yamamoto or anything like that in the Super Robot Wars games?
Yes. So actually, Space Battleship Yamato is in the game previous to this one. That's in Super Robot Wars V. You definitely control that ship, and the story is largely based around that anime, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you did allude to Spike and Cowboy Bebop. Those characters are in Super Robot Wars T, the one after this one. So you will get some things that aren't quite mechs. You do get these bigger ships for sure that function a little differently than your mechs do. It seems like that's so like an
overpowered maneuver.
It is a little bit, but these ships can't move and shoot often, which the mechs usually can. They're usually quite slow. The stats for this one, it can move. Say how far it moves. Moves 6 up there in the top right. Whereas
so then you can just move. Here, once you move, that's it.
Yeah, and like the G Self can move 9 spaces a turn. So it's it is a mobile suit.
Yep.
Compared to these kind of slower, tankier ships.
They're kind of like the artillery in Advance Wars.
Yeah, I mean they do have longer range attacks for sure. We're also trying to stack up kills for Aoba because he came with a big disadvantage because he's a pilot with no experience. He's never piloted a thing before. So he started out with a score of 0. A lot of these other pilots, the game says, like, oh, they've been a pilot for a little while, so give them a score of, 5 or 6. Like, they came into the game with some kills, and they help things go a little bit faster. But Aoba...
So they take into account the character's backstory.
A little bit, yeah. And also kind of the time when you get them in the game, they try to give you somebody with... 20 kills already when you're further into the game, so you don't have to burn a bunch of time trying to make people into ace pilots. But Aoba comes early enough that they, I guess they wanted to kind of go along with that story that he's not the...
he's weak, he must be made stronger.
Pretty much, yeah. I think we've pretty much reached most of the guys that we can get at the moment. So we're just going to move a bunch of these guys up. So I don't want to spoil too much about the Gurren Lagann, since you haven't seen a whole lot. We'll try maybe not to use the Gurren Lagann as much this time.
Oh, don't worry about it.
And we need other guys to get kills anyway, so that's fine. Okay, we can attack with her.
With boomerang.
That's pretty good. Yeah, her boomerang attack is pretty neat. This is from an anime called Cross Ange.
Okay.
Which I don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
Or it's like relatively well made. It's just
kind of basic.
No. There's a lot of sexual assault that happens. Kind of some subject matter that feels very, very off-putting when you're watching this show.
Yeah. Thanks,
it's not great. We're going to just soften up a couple of these units so Wataru and Shibaraku can pick them off at the end of here. Good stuff. I don't think he's going to hit us, so we can skip through that. He did not hit us. Move further units here. The G-Self we have made incredibly strong at this point. We've dumped a bunch of points into him, so nobody's going to touch him ever, and he probably will counter-kill anybody who tries to touch him. So I'm just kind of leave him. I'm gonna hope he doesn't. Well, let's try his weakest attack. Let's see if his head Vulcans will kill this mech. But you saw there's a 0% chance for them to hit us. We've made this mech too good.
Too powerful, Captain. Oh, wait. I don't know, something about like
so that's pretty good.
Laser beams that are like small little thin beams that make like huge explosions. I just love
like
that.
So it is interesting because the Gundam in Gundam head Vulcans are usually more like bullets than they are lasers. But I guess for this game, or not for this game, for that anime, they decided to make them more purpley, pinky lasers.
The Mace Windu did. I want to make it purple.
Yes.
We don't have one that's purple. Oh, I want one that's purple.
Well, make one.
I'm so glad Samuel L. Jackson did that.
I mean, he just wanted to be. He wanted his kids to be able to find him in the battle. It makes sense to me.
And he also wanted a cool ass fucking lightsaber.
That's true. He also just wanted to be a motherfucking badass. And he accomplished that.
Yep.
So we're going to just evade here. We don't need Cecily to get kills right now, so we can just skip out. They're not going to touch us, so I'll skip through that.
Is there ever a time when evade doesn't work?
Yes, totally. Evade doesn't completely evade for you. It just lowers the percentage chance to hit. So on that one, I think it lowered it from like 20% to hit to 10%. But yeah, you can definitely try to evade and fail.
This guy said the H word.
But that's why you can. There's a third option you can do. You can if somebody's attacking you, you can counter if you have an ability that attacks within that range. You can evade or you can defend. And every mech has an armor rating, and if you use defend, that armor rating will come into play in terms of how much damage it stops. Okay, so we'll evade here. He's not touching us.
And I'm guessing there's not like, limb damage or anything like that, like in Front Mission 3, for example, or anything of that nature.
Nope. Anything that's damage is kind of there's some story-based stuff. Like I know in Super Wars V, speaking of the space battleship Yamato, there's a mission where the whole point is, oh, we can't move, so that unit specifically is not able to move during the entire map, but everything else can move. But it's not like you it's not like somebody did damage to my engines and now I can't move my character. It's all story-based stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's got these Bison Well soldiers are a little bit better than those helicopter dudes. So that's they had a slightly better chance
because they
to
actually
hit,
have color to their mech design.
Yeah, and also they're a little harder to hit, but we still got him.
You got him there.
We only had a 58% chance to get that, so it was kind of nice that we.
You're kicking ass so far.
So yeah, 8 to 58%. Let's kind of fast forward through here. We've seen that flame shot, but we haven't seen his shot yet. So I'll show you what that looks like.
Nice.
Man, we hit that too. We are doing all right.
Taking all kinds of names.
Okay, going after the big Nagina, no problem.
I don't know, something about bug designs in mechs that I just find really cool. They lend themselves well to like cool designs.
Yeah, there were some Beast Wars characters that were bugs, weren't there?
Let's see, Beast Wars characters that were... Oh, there was there's one that was a fly, or like a who was it? It was one of the Decepticons.
I felt like I had a toy of like a yeah, I thought I had one that was like a beetle.
And
it kind of looked like these guys that had like a hard shell. Okay. I do remember the spider from from like the one VHS tape I had of Beast Wars. Man,
that show went places.
That is an art style I have zero nostalgia for.
I kind of like it in Reboot, but other than that, it's kind of like...
I hate Reboot.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's a good show, but I still have fond memories of it.
Yeah.
If you want something adventurous, look up the sequel that they made. They turned the little kid into like a total edgelord, all grown up.
Oh no.
I think Bob's no longer in the show.
What's the Adult Swim show that came out way later but tried to use that same style, that comedy one?
Is it Xander Renegade Angel?
Yes.
Or Xavier Renegade Angel, something like that. Yeah, that.
Yeah, something like that.
That show was really dumb.
I hated that show.
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I honestly, if that kind of humor, I preferred 12-ounce mouse. But yeah, that wasn't one of their better ones.
Yeah. So we've got this tank here, and we've got a couple of units that can do this, that can repair. You have to be right next to them.
Yeah.
Unless you have like some special item, but they also get experience for doing that. So this tank is actually really bad in battle, and it's kind of nice that it has a repair function.
Have it as a
Yep. And then we've also put we've given her an item, the zone recover there. You see.
Yep.
And she can heal once per battle. And then I gave somebody else, I think it's the Zelgard. Yeah, it's got the rescue unit. So that rescue unit allows the Zelgard to also repair mechs. So we've got a couple options here if we need to repair something. But we're still focused on getting kills here.
Yeah. That does remind me of support characters in Fire Emblem. Like, what's the one, the kid that can play his flute gives you an extra turn, or...
yeah,
healing,
totally.
Healers,
so there is a dance/sing style mechanic in here as well, but it's you have to kind of charge it up. Yeah, there's so many options in this game, which is, I think, the really cool part about Super Robot Wars.
Yeah.
But
even though the maps are kind of basic, like there's a lot of customization.
Yeah. But the dance mechanic is something anybody can do, but they have to have the right conditions for it. And so far, none of my guys do. So you see here with Show, you see that purple 2 next to X count on the left?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2.
That purple 2, like right next to his character portrait, that means he's gotten 2 kills.
When that charges up, something cool happens, actually, I assume.
He's only gotten 1 kill, so maybe he started with 1 for some other reason. But yes, if you get that up to a certain number, I can spend those points on these X actions, and I can use some different things here. So I can have him I can have him move 2 spaces further for a single turn. I can have him do an attack that ignores a bunch of enemy bonuses. I can have him do an attack that doesn't require any energy to use, so I can just kind of get a free attack. I can have a guaranteed crit, or I've got this special one. This is the dance. I can just take if I defeat... Actually, it's closer to Gale Force in Fire Emblem Awakening, where if you get the kill on a unit on this turn, you'd get an extra turn with this unit before your actual turn's over.
Oh, it's like Dark Flyer in Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Dark Flyer, it got a skill called Gale Force, and that's totally what this is. Okay, we need to get some kills with Wataru. That should be fine. We'll skip through that. We've seen that attack before. He's at 27 now. Good stuff. Aoba needs some kills. Who else is weak here? You're very weak. Let's have you run up and get a kill with your sword attack. 100%. That's good. We've seen that one before.
They're gone.
He leveled up. It's always good. So we're going to want Show. So our bonus points here were to have Show attack Todd. And we also need...
Get those Todd points.
Simone. We also need Simone to attack Todd, so I think we can do that real quick here. I would say close your eyes for this one, Matt, if you don't want to see what the
All right, I'll
like.
keep my eyes shut. It'll be a nice big surprise when I actually get to it in Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, because you've definitely never seen this robot.
Well, I got my eyes.
It's certainly not been
I averted my eyes.
It hasn't been in any marketing materials or on the internet or on Twitter ever, I'm sure. So you just have no idea what this robot is, and I'd hate to spoil it for you. So Todd and Viral are chatting each other up. And here we go. Here's the attack. So this is the part you shouldn't look at. Don't watch this. Don't look at how
like
cool
when I
this
saw
is.
Terminator 2 back in the day, with my dad and uncle saying, like, close your eyes at this point. We want to see the cool thing.
I saw Terminator 3 with my uncle, and I'd never seen the first two Terminator movies. And I was relatively young too. I mean, it was when it first came out.
It is a
and my uncle's like, "Hey, it is." I was above 13, yeah. I think. So
Terminator
I guess
2
okay.
is definitely a hard R, as is Terminator 1.
Yeah. But anyway, my uncle had me for the night, and he didn't know what to do with me. So he's like, "You want to go see a movie?" Yeah, sure.
This looks good.
What do you want to watch? Like, I don't know. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, let's pick the action movie, and we watched Terminator 3, and neither of us had seen the other Terminator movies.
Oh wow,
very weird. And then we went to Steak and Shake.
There you go. Get some gross shoestring fries and a good shake.
I actually really like Steak and Shake.
They're okay. When I went out to school in Indiana, there was a Steak and Shake that was 24 hours. And it was a good place to like hang with friends if we were out late or about to like head out to go somewhere early in the morning. So it was like the one place that was open.
I wouldn't say they have like the steak burger. I think is good. It's not an amazing thing, but it does like it's the way they smash those and it gets all the crispy bits. That's pretty good.
And the shakes are good.
The fries, yes, they are,
the fries are
tiny little shoestring things. I kind of like the fries. What I like about them though is when you get cheese on them, because they have got a weird cheese sauce on them that I have not tasted in other places. Like it's definitely just like some cheese sauce, but I do not like nacho cheese sauce. I never get nachos at the stadium or anything like that because I'm not a fan of that. But for whatever reason, I like that cheese that you get there.
Not a fan of queso either?
Oh no, I love queso. Queso's great. I'm not a monster.
Actual cheese substitute.
All right, we've got the F91 here. I would suggest if you're interested in dipping another toe into Gundam, I think the F91 movie is pretty good.
All right.
And also, it's a movie, so it's short.
Like a 90-minute
50-episode series. Yeah.
I did notice when I was looking up Gurren Lagann on Hulu, there's quite a bit of Gundam on there. So I think I'm tempted to watch Gundam Wing, but I kind of want to watch Gundam X.
Yeah, I'm watching Gundam X currently.
And I know that's completely separate and
is
like a side story event, so it's like not even a side story event. It's just it's like G Gundam.
Yeah,
it's
just in a whole different universe. Yeah, it's no connection at all. I think it has some very good parts, and there are some parts that are a real slog, and I'm kind of in the real slog part.
Oof. Haven't come up against any recap episodes yet?
No, there are no recap episodes. I'll give it that. I'm in the second OP. It's got 39 episodes, and I think I'm on like 31. So I'm getting close to the end. And it's starting to pick back up, but I also just can't wait to be done with it because I've got other shows I would like to watch instead.
I downloaded that opening song like years and years ago, back like on like Napster or whatever. And
sure.
I've listened to that song to this day and still have not seen the anime for Gundam X.
It's a good song, and the second OP is also quite good. It's not. I don't think it's quite as good as the first one, but it's up there. I think the mech design is. It does. It is a very powerful OP. I think the mech design is fine. The upgraded suit, the Double X, is also pretty okay. There is an enemy suit, though, that is very good. It's called the Vertigo with a B because of, bad translation.
Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo.
Yeah. Well,
the Vertigo.
Yeah, what could they possibly have been talking about? What did they go for with this name? Translating is bad. But the cool, it is like a mix between the Cubily that is from Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta that Hamarn Karn, Queen of Space, drives. That is a very cool mech, so it has vibes of that with like these big finny shoulders, and then it also has I'm trying to think of the other mech that I'm blanking on it, but it's got another Xeon looking suit design, and it kind of just mashes them up together, and it just looks real slick. And it was cool enough that I had to go get a model of that, and so now I've got a Vertigo of my own. Even though it's only in like 4 or 5 episodes of Gundam X, and then it's gone forever. But it is a very cool suit. Okay, we have fulfilled our
didn't even touch it.
Our things that we needed to do for now. There's another thing that we can do, but we need to wait until that thing happens. And I think what we have to do is defeat Todd before we can have that other option show up for us.
Todd beat down time.
Or actually, maybe that's what this is right now. Maybe he's going to fuck us up. Todd's got aura power. He's got Jiggy. Sorry, Jiggy. You just recently played a bunch of Star Wars games.
I did.
Help me out with how you get to the dark side.
How do you get to the dark side? Well, in the the board game, you have to collect dark side points. Darth Vader doles them out, freely.
We're also collecting points here, but I meant the phrase. Like, is it hate leads to suffering? Suffering leads to something else?
Since much anger in you, anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering, something like that. Fear leads to anger. Okay. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Yes.
There we go.
Can't suffer.
No.
Suffering leads to the dark side.
But really, all you have to do is just get dark side points from Darth Vader. That's how it works.
I mean, that's a faster way for sure. But yeah, it looks like Sho is
hyper.
Sho is asking if Todd's going hyper. Phenomenon where an aura machine's pilot's aura power is amplified to the extremes.
Oh boy.
When controlled by anger, sadness, hatred. Oh, he's almost got them all.
Almost had
all those negative emotions. God damn. Anyway, so let's see what happens when somebody goes hyper. I don't think his hair changes color. It's like already blonde.
And they just move across the battlefield like that.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, there's a story thing happening. Let's get let's get you as far away from the actual battle as possible.
I'm guessing Viral's a bit of a douche.
I mean, he's an enemy for sure.
He's got sharp teeth.
We actually just converted him. Oh, totally. We just converted him over to our kind of tentative friend side here, so he's with us, but he's also not with us,
I'm guessing Todd is not going to use a 3-letter word that he calls one of the other characters in Aura Battler in this.
Oh no, I hope not.
That definitely seemed to be from a different age when I was watching this, and I was like, this definitely seems like it's from the 80s.
Yeah. Were you watching it dubbed or subbed?
Subbed.
I think this show did get a dub. Okay.
I believe it's on High Dive currently.
Okay.
So if you're subscribed to VRV or High Dive, you can watch some Aura Battler Dubbany.
There you go. Yes. Let's pronounce this all the ways.
Aura Battler just sounds cooler.
Yeah. Smart. And maybe we won't have to say Dunbean very often after.
It does look like a cool show. It's
level.
like
Who knows?
It's very like an isekai, like, oh, they got transported to another world. Uh-oh. What's this? Is this the turncoat?
Yeah. Oh no. Nothing personal. I don't like where this is going.
It's all that dramatic irony is just piling up and finally culminating.
An Aura Battler to the fore, a mystery Moshin to the rear.
It's a trap.
Or it's that, or it's a different reference. It's the Bilbean.
The Bilbean. Oh no.
Bilbine. Bilbin.
Bilbine?
Yeah, there you go. I think that's it. It's Marvel. Everyone loves
Captain
Marvel.
Wow.
She's avenged. She's avenged show. She's an Avenger. Marvel's the Avenger. Did I do that right?
Yes, you did that perfectly.
Yes. I love Marvel shows. Marvel Frozen. No, she. Frozen. Yes, exactly. You got it. Oh, Marvel what's the? Frozen. You remember that meme? That meme photo of the Asian man who like has his ID and he changed his name to Batman, Spider-Man, or something like that.
No.
Oh, I can't remember that. I remember that image going around online. That it's just this, it's somebody's driver's license, and it says something like Batman, Superman is his first and last
Superman,
name.
Spider-Man, that's my full name. Oh, yeah. Wow. Aura's power is rising.
Shows Aura power is rising because his girlfriend showed up. And Simone knows. He's like, oh, I get it.
Getting the Bilbany. It's hot.
So I think if I remember this right, the Bilbean is Sho's actual mech that he's in for most of the anime.
And I'm guessing Todd takes control.
And the Dunbean. No. But the Dunbean, I believe, is actually Marvel's mech.
Ah. Okay.
So Sho's been fighting in her mech for a while, and I think they're gonna swap right here.
Mech swap. I like how they're still hiding his face, but I wonder.
They do that all the time.
Who's that guy? I wonder.
There was another one that we saw earlier. We were playing through one of the story missions for Cross Ange, and there's a enemy character who they block out the face for these talking segments, but then when we got into a battle, it 100% shows the face when she's attacking you. I'm like, well, then you're not really doing a very good job of hiding it, guys.
Maybe the characters are just dumb.
Hot swap.
They're just oblivious and just don't like look at their surroundings a whole hell of a lot.
100%. So now that we've hot swapped, we're in the Bilbean, which is technically, I believe, a better suit than the Dunbean. But we'll have to see about that.
Don't be afraid, Chef.
And now that we have the Bilbean, I can tell you that the other Todd point that we can get now is we have to attack Todd in the Bilbean.
Yeah.
We've already attacked him in the Dunbean. That was one of these Todd points, and this is the other one.
So don't believe in me, believe in the Bilbean that believes in you.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. I do know that on one of these missions that I did recently, I missed a Todd point accidentally. No. I believe I have enough points to still get the secret scenario, but if I don't, we're just not gonna have that secret scenario. We'll see. I believe I have the 4 Todd points that I need. I don't think we'll know that until we start the next episode, though. I don't think it just tells you what scene you're up onto next. I think you actually have to start it to know. And from the way that the way I'm getting this video feed to you, Matt, you're not hearing the sound,
no.
but man, this R Battler music is just real jazzy saxophones.
My favorite.
Those saxophones are going full blast.
Get a nice horn section going. Put in some mech, and then boom. You've captured my heart.
Well, actually, Matt, the saxophone is a woodwind.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
What about all the cornets and the horns? There's usually a good backing.
There's probably also some horns going on, but
trumpets in the background on a good song.
We just need to defeat Todd again.
Okay.
Which shouldn't be that bad. We are going to.
Nah, he's weak.
He is weak, but we only have a 43% chance of hitting in this big ship, and I kind of want to guarantee that we hit. So what I can do is I can use this command called Attune, and that will grant an ally 100% accuracy for a turn.
Oh, cool.
So boom, no problem.
Now we're
gonna hit this one.
Awesome.
Now. Yeah.
That is cool. I also noticed there are multiple characters in mecha or ships.
Yes. So in certain mechs, there are sub-pilots.
Oh, that's cool.
And those sub-pilots will also have spirit abilities that let them do different things. So, we got him. Good stuff. And because these ships are so hard to get up into the battle, I try to give them kills whenever I can. Because if I can make these guys into ace pilots, that's something that's very useful to me. But it's really difficult to get them close enough where they can get attacks. So I'm going to try doing it here too. I have a 49% chance to hit. You don't see anything for the enemy because he doesn't have anything that can hit me at this range. So he just doesn't get an attack. And I think he auto... Oops, I didn't mean to start the battle. Hopefully 49% is 100% at this point. Fingers crossed.
We'll find out in a second here.
Yes, sir.
But I think when an enemy can't attack, they auto evade, which might be why our percentage to hit is as low as it is.
Let's see what happens. Oh,
got him!
Blasted.
Can't beat 49%.
Just below a coin toss.
Dusted him. All right, good stuff.
I'm also guessing there is no permadeath, like a certain strategy game.
There's not. Like, again, it is. You can lose some members, but it's all story-based stuff. It's not.
Yeah. If a character leaves, it's because the story is like, hey, I'm peacing out later.
Exactly.
It's not because, oh, I died in battle, I'm dead, or I've been hit too hard that I'm gonna just sit on the sidelines for the rest of the game.
Right. I mean, you will get that Fire Emblem casual mode where it goes, oh, hey, I need to duck out, and they'll just be gone for the rest of that battle. But unless they are plot relevant for the mission itself, like Sho is plot relevant this time, so we need Sho to stay alive. It's a game over if we let Sho die.
Yeah, so there's always a character that needs to stay. You can't have a character die and then that's, game over.
Right, and you can see that in our objectives here. So if one of our battleships, these are our battleships, the Cygnus and the Megafauna. So those are our battleships, and then we can't let Sho...
No Megaflora?
I can't hear you on that one.
Sorry, no Megaflora. Anyway.
Oh, no, yeah. No Megaflora that I've seen. But we also can't let Sho or Marvel die on this one. But anybody else is fine. Like, this character is our protagonist. That is our character. We could name him something other than Iori. This is a mech that was made just for this game. It is an original character.
Wait, you telling me that's not Lori?
We can let him die. No, it's Iori. It's
I know. Capital I know.
Anyway, let's start running through some dudes.
Let's mow them down.
Boomerang. 62 is not great, but it's better than 19. Not worried about that. We'll move the Zelgard up. I think the Zelgard is too strong, but we'll see. I think the Zelgard is going to wipe this guy out. But being the original character, he does have some very flashy attacks, because they could just have fun and like, yeah, why don't we let him have these big weird whirlwinds and just slice that dude.
That does look pretty cool.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, you're fine. And I think it's just the Gundam. Oh, it's also the...
Yeah, you got all your buddies over there just chilling. They had to move to the side to get some story beats down.
Okay, so we do need to attack
Todd
with the Bill Beam. We don't need to do that with the Dun Beam, though, so we can have her run back and go somewhere else. She doesn't have very good hit rates on any of these people, but they also don't have very good hit rates on her.
Yeah, these character animations in the battle scenes are really, really good. It kind of reminds me of Guilty Gear, the new Guilty Gear, or what Arxis does.
Yeah,
no,
totally.
Dragon Ball games are the fighting games that they've done. They look really nice.
Yeah, I think these are all 2D. I don't think any of it is actually in 3D like those things. But
interesting, because the way the camera moves, it makes it look like sort of like a 3D effect of the character model.
Yeah, I think it is still all hand animated though. Okay, 100% for us, 81 for him. I would rather him not hit us, so I'll use another command called for C, which gives us a 100% chance to evade for a turn.
There you go.
So that'll be nice. And this will get us our 4th Todd point.
Guy really wants to stay in Byston Well.
Who wouldn't?
I mean, kind of cool. Like, Byston Well, for the folks at home, that's the place where most of the show is set in Aura Battler. Think of it like, I guess what's the... it's not... Yeah, the Silver Star. Think of it like the Silver Star in Lunar. Like, everyone used to live...
Hey, man, you're the expert.
Everyone lived on the Silver Star and then had to move to the moon. So Earth is called Upper Earth. I don't know why. I'm sure they get into that later, maybe. Who knows?
It just makes sense.
It's Isekai stuff. You get transported one day while riding your motorcycle, and yeah, now you got to pilot a mech.
It's a Tales Old Time.
Tales Old Time and running wild in anime everywhere.
So we're just evading all these attacks so we can clean them up with those other guys.
Gotta get the right characters to level up.
Yeah, basically. We will let Marvel get some kills, though.
Strategize.
If she can tag this guy.
Good, let's get in the way.
And she keeps hitting. 64%, pretty good. Wow, that's a lot of damage, too.
Wrecked him. comes Todd.
I still don't really want to get hit.
So you're gonna use that 4C.
I think we'll evade that one too. Yeah.
He seems like the kind of bad guy that's like, one hit and you're messed up now.
Yeah, we only have 4,000 HP. I don't
4,000
think
HP.
that's enough to take. Yeah, well, I mean, compared to.
I know it's a sliding scale for every game. Like, I always find it funny. Like, oh yes, our HP starts off like in the thousands.
Yeah, I mean, the Cygnus here has
11,500.
So. Also, so the mechs in Buddy Complex are called Valiancers, and we get to see some more in this attack. These are not units that we get separately, but
oh, cool, yeah,
they are part of this attack that we can use with this unit. That's also how the Cowboy Bebop characters work in Super Robot Wars T.
Okay, so Jet and Faye will come in with Spike.
Yeah, like it's just the Swordfish, but there will be some specific attacks where those two bring in their ships. And then, unfortunately, the Bebop is not a battleship that you get, but at one point the Bebop is shown, and that's also kind of cool. So that was just complete overkill.
Yeah, seriously.
But it was fun. You got to see the attack. That's always good. Then we'll get Wataru. Shibaraku actually has
enough to do an X action.
3 points, so we can use our multi-hit, and we can clear up both of these guys. Clear up these far guys. 100% there. And now he got his multi-action. So let's bring him up here.
Very nice.
And cut that guy down too. Good stuff. Now Wataru can clean up this guy. Okay. So there's also a morale system in
I was
here.
going to ask about that because I noticed that number. So is there like if the morale goes too low, it's kind of like Total War games where it's like, oh, we got to retreat. We're being overrun.
Morale judges the types of attacks you can use. So see here with high maneuver assault, down there kind of in the bottom left, it shows required morale. Mm-hmm. And the required morale is 110, and we have 125. Gotcha. So we're able to use this attack.
Do you lose morale when you attack?
You get morale for all sorts of different reasons. And I think it's usually when you attack. Sometimes it's when you get kills. Apparently, we just gained morale with Aoba after Wataru got a kill. So I don't know all the ins and outs of the mechanics because it's so dense in this game. But we triggered something where our morale... Yeah, like our morale went high enough where I think we have to show it in the search here. But he used... What's the skill called?
Ooh,
coupling system, that's it. So when Aoba and Dio's morale are both above 120, so we have to get them above 120, and then we get this new effect where one of them uses one of these spirit commands, and the other one gets it for free because they're connected, right? Like in the like the Pacific Rim thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, a useful feature. But they have to be at a specific morale first, which usually requires you to do some fighting before that stuff can proc. Okay. Let's see some cats.
Yes. Cat time.
Which one is the cat attack? I think it's High Familiar. Yeah. Go, my kitties. So
it
dumb.
Is dumb, but hey, it's cool.
And this is also an original character. Masaki and his Psybaster came from a much older Super Robot Wars title. I do not remember which one, but he is a DLC character. Well, he's like a semi-DLC character. If you have the DLC, you can get him much earlier. If you don't have the DLC, he comes in like close to the end of the game where you get him. So, you know, he's still appropriately leveled for this part of the game, but it is nice to have this extra unit who is generally pretty good and will level quite well with your other units. Okay. Todd's sitting here at 7,500. Let's
go on the dark.
Try to get him down a little bit
patch
more.
To get a little bit more evasion.
Yeah. It's 8%.
Oh, man.
What the hell is that? But I can use this. Intuition is a spirit that uses two different spirits at the same time. One is Bullseye, which you could probably guess gives us 100% accuracy for this character. Attune can give it to other characters, but Bullseye is only for this character. And he also gets what's called Flash, and Flash is like for C, but only for this character, where it gives us 100% evade. So it is basically a cheat code. I can get 100% attack and 100% evade on a single turn. Or not even a single turn, a single attack. So I can change that 88 to 8 to 0 to 100. And that's pretty useful.
Yeah, seriously. Now maybe you could have hit
but
with 20% though.
These characters
maybe you could have hit it with 20%.
It's true.
Watching this with 80.
But those spirit points are limited, and you only get a certain amount back each turn. So we can't spam this every turn, but it is useful to pick your spots and grab those while you can.
Oh, missed. Lucky you.
Well, it was guaranteed to miss. We will, I believe Todd's the only unit left for their side. Yep.
So you're just gonna chill?
I am still building up. I'm still building up the G-Self quite a bit. So what I'm gonna do, because he also has a special power with him, I'm gonna use his strongest attack. I'm gonna use Intuition. And then you can see these other ones are green. This one's green because we can't recover any health because we're already at 100%. And Bellry has a special power on him that the first time he attacks, he already has Fortune procced on him for free. And Fortune will double the amount of money we get from defeating an enemy. And that is... The boss has the most money available to him, so we're just going to double that big payday by crushing him with Bellry. He also gives the most experience, so we'll get quite a bit of experience for Bellry as well.
It's time for violence. Oh, sweet.
Just good stuff.
I just went Super Saiyan on him.
Todd didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance.
Oh, crap. Bye, Todd.
Sorry, Todd.
Get your xenophobic ass out of here.
So we did level up there. We got 23,000 funds. And Todd had a sniper kit on him that we can now apply to somebody else. And Bellry got the Mercy ability. Mercy can let you leave an enemy with 1 HP. So this might be something useful to use if I want to get Wataru more kills. Yeah. And I want to make sure that I'm not getting Bellry the kills that should be somebody else's.
Show, are you fucking crying?
Nah, come on, man. I don't think Todd's dead. You just saw him explode in a mech, but no, he's probably fine.
He'll recover.
Thanks, chum.
Beginner mode bonus.
Yeah, we got a couple extras. Now we got to do a little debrief from chat.
Always got to debrief after a mission. What the hell just happened there, guys? Wow.
With none of the injuries I took in that one battle. What's that one battle? Oh, it refers to the decisive battle between the joined forces of the kingdoms of Ah and Ku, obviously.
Against Na and Rao.
Against Na and Rao.
Obviously.
Yeah, I can't... I mean, duh. Everybody should know about that one battle.
I hope we can solve this mystery.
I actually don't remember if we meet Queen Celia in this game. Maybe we do.
I love it when they name drop characters. It's like, yeah, we're not going to see them in this game. Save for the next one.
Yeah, no, I mean, you should have watched the anime, Matt. I mean, you did. You at least watched one episode of the anime. That's more than I've watched. Hey, didn't you betray us?
Where were you? Where were you during the fight?
What are you doing here? Well, you see, Matt, his face was darkened, so nobody knows. It could have been anybody.
You telling me Palpatine is Darth Sidious?
I'm just saying.
That's impossible.
We've never seen him in the same room together.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's got a soft spot.
Just gonna stab y'all in the back.
You know, before Marvel came in and knocked him over, he did say that he was having second thoughts about attacking Sho. So like maybe he is seeing the nice side of us.
I mean, I would have second thoughts about attacking the big Sho as well too.
That's true.
He is an absolute unit.
He's a big bad Sho tonight. Son of Andre the Giant. Not a lot of people know that.
I gotta watch that Andre the Giant documentary. That's on HBO.
It's very good. Yeah, you should. I actually had a friend who went to college with the Big Show in Illinois. And yeah, he's like, yeah, I saw him in one class and never saw him again. he did not need to go to that class, but he apparently was a big basketball star. Yeah, very, very good point.
Go team. There you go. Another scenario in the books.
Scenario in the books. We got to do a little bit of business. We got to... Spiro's got to talk to some friends here.
Now, is there any kind of
points?
like talking between characters and building their relationships like in Fire Emblem, or is that just, you know, just all basic story stuff? It's like just plot beginning to end.
Yep. You get the story you get. There's no developing a story over time. You can at least get some of the bonuses that you might get from out of Fire Emblem. Like I can purchase support attacks and support defends that I can have for my units, that when somebody is near them they can proc those powers. But it's not.
But there's no conversation.
Again, it's not like a developing thing. No. I mean, there's enough conversation in this game already. They kind of, I would say, they put the support conversations in the main conversations.
What if Super Robot Wars did have waifus and husbandos?
Well, it does, but
I mean, ones that your character can actually marry.
Yeah, this game has too much talking in it already.
It does seem to be a celebration of all these characters coming together for whatever reason. The reason doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, well, the reason is that we're trying to go to Mount Dokdar, I believe is how it's pronounced. and that is from Wataru's anime, and we are trying to get the rainbow, its color, back. Because once we do that, the power is restored to all Warth, and there's an older woman who's going to be able to send us all back to our different dimensions that we belong to.
So are you telling me this is the Rainbow Bright?
You know, we just got to defeat... Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah, uh-huh. You got it. Hey, Matt, I've got a question for you. Do you comprehend the power of love?
Sometimes. Like, sometimes it can bloom on the battlefield, as I've been told.
It's true. It's true. I've got some CDs that you should listen to. Hootie and the Blowfish. I think you'd be very interested in what he has to say.
I do believe he got sued by Bob Dylan for using the line, "I've been tangled up in blue."
Well, you know,
not everybody gets sued by Bob Dylan either, so I think that's a point for Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's true. I have never been sued by Bob Dylan. You know, something to shoot for. So we can go in here. We're gonna wrap up here, but so you can see I've got the G Self 100% customized, and that's why it's so good. I also have the Gurren Lagann completely customized. That's why it's so good. Actually, you know what? I don't have... Oh, sorry. Just stop. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Super Gurren Lagann.
I can't fully upgrade his weapon. I don't have the funds to be able to do that yet, but someday we will fully upgrade him. And we can upgrade some other units too. I don't think it's really necessary at this point. You can open your eyes now. Okay. And then we can also go in and see some of these items that we got. So I've got like that sniper kit I collected that ups our crit by 20. That's not a percentage. It's just, I don't know exactly what the threshold is for that, but we can give somebody a better chance to crit. Who would be good to see crit more often? Maybe Senjinmaru and Ryu. You know what? Actually, he doesn't need this A adapter. Let's give him the sniper kit. So now, a better chance to crit for Wataru, so we can pick up those kills, and then we can stop using them, because I do not like it. But that's that. I think we're good. The last thing we do is save.
Wow, that was my first Let's Play ever.
So that was the first one. I mean, you've done Let's Plays in the past. You just didn't call them Let's Plays.
Capacity, not like the Giant Bomb style or anything like that.
I suppose.
Streaming is separate.
So we're really close here to... Sure. So we're really close here to these extra bonus scenarios that we can do. We need to get to Chapter 13. We just cleared Scenario 12, so we might be able to do that next time. Except, if we got the secret scenario, that doesn't count as Scenario 13. That'd be another one. So who knows? We'll have to see if we've unlocked that second... secret scenario that we'll find out. We'll find out in the next episode. Matt, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'd love to have you back on again sometime. But yeah, this was Super Wars X.
Hate to say it, this is probably going to be your longest episode yet.
Oh, it's definitely going to be the longest episode yet. But that happens when you and I get together. But that's cool. We had fun, and that's the most important part. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.